I need you to understand the cost of being wrong about igniting or burning plasma. That is what your scientists are trying to do. There are research projects around the world trying to do it. And it means that burning plasma, that they're now admitting to that, means that they've given up on the idea of fusion, which has already been proven wrong at the National Ignition Facility in Lawrence Livermore Laboratory, San Francisco. But the end result of it is that they expect that when igniting atoms on fire, those atoms will just put themselves out, that the fire will just extinguish itself. This is, they're trying to recreate the same energy as is on the sun here on Earth. And they believe that the fire will just put itself out because there's not enough gravity here on Earth to sustain the fire. That's the plan. There is no other plan. That's it. And they claim that because they say in the center of the sun is a graviton, an element that is completely unproven and a complete fantasy. And I'm about to show you why. The issue is, or what they say is that a graviton is 15 times heavier than lead. Now, and the biggest atom that we have on Earth, the biggest element, the biggest or the most, the biggest atomic number that we have in elements here that are proven to be real, is about like this for size comparison. And when we take the scientists claim that there's a graviton on the sun, that graviton would then be roughly equivalent to this. You see the difference. And the reason that atoms don't get so big is because they spin enormously fast and they can't hold themselves together. This is like a grain of sand, and this is like the Earth spinning just for just fantasy purposes. I mean, the Earth spins, one turn in 24 hours to bring you back to sunlight. Means that the equator turns at over 1,000 miles per hour. You don't feel it because the atmosphere goes with us, but it nonetheless is traveling at over 1,000 miles per hour. And atomic atoms travel extremely fast, and if they're too big, they simply explode. They cannot hold themselves together. And as you know, we could put, one of these, and we could put lots of these inside this one claim of a graviton, which means that the density is actually better. And if you look at it, this is supposed to have, 6 to 8 valence electron rings around it. This would need like 3,000 to be a functionally adequate atom. I mean, there is no possibility this exists. None in the real world. They claim it because they say solar gravity is real, and therefore there has to be this much mass in the sun in order to have solar gravity. So therefore it must exist. That's what they claim. But the reality of it is that to hold a spinning atom together, there must be an opposing energy that keeps it together. Otherwise the outward heading forces would just simply fall apart. They would just not hold themselves together. There would be no balanced state. So a nuclear fire means that you split the atom, and the energy that holds it together goes one way, and the energy that tries to escape it goes the other way. And that energy that holds it together, or dark energy, or it's called a neutron, is in fact what creates solar gravity. When you burn an atom, when you split those energies apart, the one energy goes one way and the other energy goes the other, and that is the method of solar gravity in this solar system. It's not exactly the same as Earth's gravity, but it's similar in concept at least. You should think about that, because to be wrong means they ignite a fire here and the fire creates its own gravity, and that means it's not going to extinguish itself. And why should it? The Earth is made out of atoms. which means everything is fuel for the fire, just like on the sun. Same fire, same result. Simple as that. And if you think they know better, think again. They claim that that the sun has flames around it that are 1,000,000 miles long. Well, there are no instruments that can see inside a 1,000,000 mile long flame. None. There are none. And as far as their claim that the sun is made entirely of hydrogen, just remember this, that all they can see is the ash cloud. What the fire does not burn up from the sun. That's what they see, is the ash cloud. And of course, in an atomic fire, only the very smallest and the very fastest particles could possibly escape it, and that means that the very smallest and very fastest material is a hydrogen atom. That's all that escapes. And that's what they see as their signature element on the sun. It's not the elements underneath the fire, it's the ash cloud. Just like an ash cloud arises from a chemical fire here. The problem here is that people trying to ignite the same energy sources as on the sun brings the same energy source as is on the sun here, and that means the earth becomes the sun, because we have no possibility of putting out a fire that they start. It's a 10 million degree fire. We can't approach it. Everything is fuel. It can't be done. Once ignited, it burns forever until the atoms are gone, just like the sun. There are no second chances, and there's no going back, and there's no doing it over. One ignition, one time, end of the world. And being wrong, it literally means we all burn.